The movie Ad Astra tells the story of astronaut Roy McBride, who is sent to a secret mission to Mars in order to try to make contact with his missing father. His father, Clifford McBride, went on a path-breaking expedition to the outer solar system 30 years ago in order to find intelligent life in outer space, but his expedition never returned and Roy's father was considered dead. Yet at present, the space station orbiting Neptune that Roy's father established is believed to be the cause of a series of uncontrolled antimatter reactions. And the powers that be believe our hero's father is responsible for these reactions.
That was taken just 11 days ago. It released high-energy particles that caused a catastrophic power surge all over the world.
Their hope is that by recruiting the Sun to the mission, further catastrophic reactions might be prevented.
My dad was a pioneer. He sacrificed himself for the search for intelligent life. My dad was the program.
This is a visually stunning movie which uses different parts of outer space as a canvas and as a stage for the plot. As such, it bears a resemblance to other sci-fi scenic movies, such as The Martian from 2015. Only here the tone is much more somber. The beauty of these places in our solar system stands in strong contrast to the tragedies that humans produce wherever they are present. Nature and its perfections are positioned in contrast to humanity and its tendency for conflict and destructiveness, a tendency that humans carry with them to the farthest parts of our solar system.
What the hell was that?
Is that another surge?
I think we just lost primary electrical bus.
The movie begins with a dazzling sequence which exemplifies this theme about humanity and nature. After a short exposition about our protagonist, we are taken to an upper atmosphere location where he is on a technical mission. His co-workers irritate him and may also be irritated by him, but when a door opens, we see a remarkable vista from a space antenna on which Roy is scheduled to do some work.
Take care, Major. Be careful.
Thanks for that.
Roy, Bravo Post's got a robotic arm on 93 Echo. Appears to be malfunctioning. We're gonna need you to take your team down there and check it out. Run some diagnostics, over.
Copy that. Heading that way.
Good morning to our astronauts up there on the International Space Antenna.
Yet we don't get to enjoy these beautiful views for long, and immediately after our hero begins his job, an unknown phenomenon severely damages the antenna and sends him on a precarious sky jump from which he barely survives. A little bit later on in the movie, we will learn that this disastrous phenomenon is not natural, but made by people, and that it already claimed the lives of thousands. This view of a conflictual and even self-destructive society is reinforced by another strong theme of Ad Astra, which is a highly individualistic style of storytelling. The entire story is told following the main character's point of view, including several instances of voiceover from his perspective. Other characters around him come and go, but we know very little about them or about what drives them. Some of them even die horrible deaths, as if to stress even more how discardable they are as characters. We are therefore driven by the movie's creators to see other people as mere obstacle or facilitators for our hero Roy in his quest to save humanity. Roy himself cares about people but doesn't come to explain why. If he has real empathy, he doesn't show it, which paints the whole movie in unempathetic tones. Saving humanity in this movie remains just a slogan, and most of the time we get to see only humanity's
Really
dark
appreciate
sides.
my privacy right now.
You're here because of the cosmic rays, aren't you?
That's classified.
The degree to which most of the other characters are discardable for the creators of the movie also makes for a highly unrealistic script. There is more than one instance in which our main character, Roy, is remarkably the lone or almost lone survivor, while other characters beside him drop like flies. This type of storytelling might work well in a light action movie such as Die Hard, but it is considerably less effective in a film that takes itself much more seriously, and that displays many of the features of an earnest drama.
Welcome to the Red Planet, Major.
For instance, space traveling, with its silences and its noises, with its effects on the body and the need to reacclimate to a new environment are all there, contributing to the credibility of the story. But the story itself, of a lone cowboy who even manages to become a stowaway on a rocket as it is in the process of leaving orbit, is not credible in the least. Again, this type of macho plot may work in Die Hard, but not in this movie.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We have committed. 2, 1. Liftoff. We have.
Although Ad Astra has a dense and complex plot, it feels like a slow-paced movie. Long shots and many prolonged silences give the sense of an artistic movie and not necessarily in a good way. Contributing to this is the fact that the conversations that do exist between characters are minimal. Everybody talks slowly and not a lot of information is exchanged.
Not very pleasant. We quarreled about my...
All that is said in these dialogues seem only to serve the central plot, and the movie lacks the credibility of the noise and chaos of real-life situations. This is for me the opposite of what good script writing is about. Instead of building a world that exists autonomously and then positioning the plot within it, there is very little behind-the-scene thinking and everything seems to serve the purpose of the basic story. This is bad scripting 101.
To the program, I think it's despicable. Desperate at best.
And all this to say what? As the viewer can already guess in the first quarter of the movie, the main theme this story tackles is the father-son relationship. You might even guess at it before the movie starts. A movie with Tommy Lee Jones playing the father and Brad Pitt playing the son will probably deal with daddy-son issues. But what can be said about father-son relations that hasn't been said yet in dozens of artistic creations before? You guessed it, not much. And indeed, this movie has little to offer on this theme as well. Without giving up the ending, I would just say I was disappointed with the movie's message and with the movie as a whole. Especially because it utilizes these two very talented actors who, despite the weak plot, gave good performances.
And then... nothing.
It is a pity. Current rapid developments in space exploration opens the door for creative movies that take place in outer space but are not escapist in nature and tackle serious issues. Movies like Gravity, The Martian, and Passengers all show that it can indeed be done, and unfortunately Ad Astra doesn't. I give the movie a low score of 5 out of 10.